Hi everybody, Jo here again. How are you doing? Now today, the gel press. It's something we keep being asked for at Lavinia. So I thought I'd do just a quick little introduction, get them crafty juices flowing, and then next week we'll come back and we'll make a full project. So the gel press, it's a mono printing plate and they come in lots of different shapes and sizes. We've got oblongs, we've got ovals, we've got squares, and they all have their own little acrylic board. So I'll put these out of the way to get rid of that glare for you. I'll file them on the floor next to Mr. Eric. And today I'm going to use Roland, and he's the round gel press. So I've got his plate, and the plate's really good, look. It shows you whereabouts to put it. Now, I love using these for two reasons. One, and I'm just going to put a piece of copy paper. Let me find a clean piece under this. It'll just make it easier. One, I find it easier to hold because I tend to use my gel press as almost as a stamp. The other thing is, what you've got to watch with the gel press, it's got a fabulous memory, and if you put it on top of a surface, it can pick up that imprint of the surface texture, and we don't want that. So a couple of things I would always recommend, and this is just me, keeping it in here in the protective, and also it has two bits of acetate, look, keep it in those as well. So the first thing I tend to do is pop mine on my acetate block there, acrylic block, sorry, put the acetate back in there, and again, put that to one side, file that again on the floor next to Mr. Eric. I've put a couple of little marks as well for me on mine, just top and bottom, so that if I'm doing a design where I need to know top, bottom, left, right, that just helps. So, as I say, just be careful, be mindful. Don't rest anything on top because the imprint will then be on your gel press and it will mark it. So it is one of those things, try and be extra careful when you're using it. So, very quick to start off with, I tend to have a pile of copy paper. I'm right-handed, so on the right. Obviously, if you're left-handed, be the opposite way round. A brayer, a lovely soft rubber roller, and I'm just going to use one colour of ink to start off with, and that's Mermaid. Now the beauty of it is with Elements ink, they've got a high pigment, that's a high colour, a low water content, so they're fabulous for the gel press. You can use lots of things on the gel press. You can use your Elements inks, we can use VersaFine Clear inks, all of which I'll be showing you at a later date. You can use your pan pastels, you can use your alcohol inks, you can use your paints, get some fabulous results with paints. So again, lots of things, but this is just that introduction to get your crafty juices flowing, and then you'll go from one thing to another. If you've got our stamp press, the flowers work really well. My suggestion is have lots of card cut to size ready to use, because if you're anything like me, you'll go through the card. So basically, to start off with, my suggestion is, for me, I always have my ink pad this way, and I'm going to ink up my roller, but only this part, and I'm just going to go once, twice, and that's enough. The roller moves round and that will be covered. And again, what I find, and again, just me, I find if I get a good almost way of doing something, it becomes routine. So I'm going to put the ink, start, and we're rolling, and we want this brayer to spin, this soft rubber roller, so it's a spin. So you're taking it down along the gel press and back up. And I've put that paper underneath, so hopefully you can see we've got some ink on there. Now, when you get used to it, you literally do it faster like this. But a couple of things to remember, start off the gel press or you'll miss adding ink here, and it's down, along and up. Now, I tend to turn mine halfway, and I've got to be honest, the reason I do this is purely because if I was doing a landscape, I could change my colour. So I could put blue for the sky, and then this I could come in with the green. But it's important, look, to get that roller to spin. Now all we'll do for this one is we've got the ink on. I've got my fan brush in some water. We'll add some water, which will react. Again, it's a water reactive ink. Now this, I'm just using plain water. Your lovely Dinkle powders work well. Now, when you're doing gel press, you can put the card, take a print. But for me, I like to lift it up, which again, these blocks come in really well. Turn it over, and this way I can central. But also for me, I like to see what happens. So look, as I press down, you can see that reaction. Now, as I say, if we had dinkles in the water, we'd get the lovely dinkles as well. Just give it a little rub and lift it off, look. And there is a very simple background, but you could then stamp this up. So as a first, if you need a quick card, a quick background. Now, a lot of people ask about cleaning the gel press, and in my opinion, a piece of copy paper just... Now, also what happens here is you're taking a print. Now, you could use a piece of card for this. I'm just using copy paper, but this is called the ghost print. And if you look, it's a paler version, a bit like a second generation. Now, this would make a fabulous insert, or you could stamp on it if you were on another piece of card and you've got yourself a paler version. So you've got two backgrounds there. So that's one thing we can do. The next thing is I'm going to do stencils today. As I say, just a little thing to get you in the mood. So what we'll do, ink up. So again, I would just come in, I'd do once, twice, and then turn round. If you keep brayering, it doesn't, a lot of crafters think, when I do workshops and I see crafters keeping brayering across, they think they're doing extra blending. Well, what happens is, if I was to keep brayering this now, I'm going to stop, I would actually start to take the ink off. So literally getting that routine of just a couple of times getting that ink on. Now a stencil, this is abstract. I've just chosen a random one. Pop the stencil on. And again, this is where we need another piece of copy paper. And all I'm going to do, now again, you could use a piece of card for this if you wanted the background on your card. I'm just using copy paper. But look, you're going to lift off. Now again, that could give you another background to use. But I'm going to lift that off. Like I say, another piece of card, but look at that, you can see it, can't you? See it already. Turn it over. Again, decide where I want it. If I want to move it, if I wanted a specific bit at the top, look, pop it down and give that a good press. And already you can see how fabulous does that look. Lift it up, give it a good rub its bottom and peel it off. Now, what I love about this is you could come in with pencils, colour it in, add extra shade. So much you can do. What I will do is pop that back on here, because again, we want to clean it. So come back in with your copy paper, or like I say, another piece of card, and you've got that ghost print look. And if I just move this out of the way, what we can do, grab another piece of card, pop it there. We've got the ink on the stencil. So again, spritz with water, just doing it over Mr. Eric. He gets a nice shower. Pop it on your card. Now I spritzed away from my ink pad because I don't want to introduce any more water to that ink pad. It's really important. If you're going to do it over your work, just pop the lid on. Now again, give this a press. You will end up with so many fabulous backgrounds. Lift that up, look at that. I love these. These are my favourite. So I'm going to put that to one side to dry. So, a couple more things. What we'll do is we'll ink up again, just as I did, down. And it's a real, you'll feel that brayer spin. Look at it spin. Turn it round. So I'll do two, again to the middle. It's spinning. Now when it comes time to clean it, just a spare piece of paper or a spare piece of card, or in your journal. Again, you've got another fabulous background. So what we'll do this time, we'll go one step further. We'll put the stencil on and we'll lift that ink off. So if you think, again, another background, we've now got space on there where there isn't any ink. So I'm going to get my flying fig and I'm just going to lean across and get a brush. And I'm just going to dab in with my flying fig, just in the areas just inside. Now again, you can add different inks. Think of the combination. You could add some water splats. You could add some dinkle splats. Think of all your different stencils you could use. And for me, I find the stencil almost suctions in. Now this, just think that I'm going to spritz, so that will give me another background. But I just need another piece of card. And we'll take a print with this and let's see what it looks like introducing another colour. So again, pop it in the middle. So think you can alter the shape, the colour. Oh, look at that. And I love the fact that you can see. Peel that off. Look at that. Oh, I just think that's fabulous. So if we just recap, we'll move these out of the way. You can start off, so again, I just hope you'll get your lovely gel press out and have a play. So first of all, if you just add some ink and then some water, then maybe replace that with dinkles and water and add that and see. And then once you've done that, pop a stencil on. Just take that ink off, remove the stencil, and you've got that gorgeous background. Don't forget to spritz your stencil to make another background. Now again, you could do that in your journal. And then finally, we added another colour, and that gave us this fabulous 2-colour background. Like I say, so much you could do. But what I will quickly do before we go is spritz this one, and I'm going to just pop that on a piece of card here. Now you think of all the different inks you've got, all the different stencils you've got. Do you know what? You could start making some amazing backgrounds. So if you're waiting for the new stamps to arrive, oh, look at that. See, I love it in the purple. And I love the, oh, yeah, I'm thinking so. These, for me, they excite me more than ever because I can introduce more ink. I can have it I like the white space. So there is so much you can do. So if you're waiting for your new stamps to arrive, this would give you something to get on with. But have a play. I can't wait for you to have a play. If you've not used the gel press, important thing for me though, as soon as you've finished, I'm going to put my piece of copy paper on here, clean it, and then put it straight away in its container, because that way I won't damage it and it'll be ready to use next time. So maybe have a go at some backgrounds, build yourself up some backgrounds, and then join me next week and we'll have a go at stamping some up and see what we create. So have fun. Please let me know how you get on. Any questions you've got, just ask. So you take care, have fun. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.